philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
I'm looking to make extra income, to plan for retirement and pay down my debt. Do you have any suggestions?
You should try Phil's Gang.
Tell me more. What is Phil's Gang?
Phil's Gang is an investing education service where Phil Grandandy teaches you and guides you to making profits in the stock market using stock charts and following the technicals. Phil's Gang is a service for all types of investors, from beginners to experts. For only $39.95 a month, you'll get access to Phil's Gang live daily webinar class, Phil's alerts, and a huge library of educational investing videos.
But my time is very limited. Can Phil still help me?
Absolutely. With Phil's Gang, they have special programs tailored for anyone. You can follow him on just 3 stocks, or they have a working investor program for folks who have limited time, and all Phil's Gang material is archived, so you never miss a beat. Plus, if you have any questions, Phil's Gang has exceptional customer service support to assist you. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com to sign up. Or call them at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Sher, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud C store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy at philsgang.com. You know, there's nothing worse than you're investing in a stock and during the day something happens and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Or you call somebody and they just give you a bunch of BS. Not here at Phil's Gang. We value every gang member. During the day, you got a question about your stock, you contact us. We have the best service in the world. philsgang.com. You're not alone. You're a gang member.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. The stocks discussed in Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. Considering information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandandy.
The Fed raises a quarter point as expected. The Fed raises its benchmark federal funds rate by a quarter point, and the Fed reaffirms its forecast for a total of 3 quarter-point rate hikes for this year, as long as the economic data continues to come in to support rate increases.
And how did the market take that? Well, first of all, the dollar dropped. That's right. Dollar's not too happy about that, not going along with it. Why should they be happy? After all, a few minutes before she raised the rates, the forecast for the first quarter that we're in, 2017, the GDP was forecasted at 3.4%. About an hour before she was supposed to raise rates, they dropped it to less than 1%. I'll repeat, our economic GDP growth is going to be less than 1%, 0.9%. What are you, nuts? So she's raising rates. Right? Don't look at everybody's looking at the wrong thing. They look at the market going up 109 points. Forget that. That's going to all go away. You got to look at what the dollar's doing. And the dollar is forecasting real problems here. And remember, when the dollar goes up, anytime there's good news or the dollar believes in what's being said by the Fed, it goes up, not down. Now, the reason it went down and gold is soaring is because, again, we had that forecast was dropped from 3.4 to 0.9%. Real wages for the average American worker, we just got those numbers, declined year over year, down 0.3%. This is the first consecutive monthly drop in real wages since 2011. Now, you remember these two dopes the other day, and I played these cuts, and I said they're wrong?
The bottom line is the economy is fundamentally strong.
Fundamentally strong. We just dropped from 3.4%, the economy, down to 0.9%. Really, Mark Zandi? Really?
The bottom line is the economy is fundamentally strong. It was fundamentally strong before the election. It's fundamentally strong after the election.
Not true. Not true. That's why the dollar's dropping. And here's another genius.
This is just another report today showing that economic momentum is broadening and improving, and more importantly, I think, with it, confidence is starting to increase.
Really? Then they're talking about how wages were going up. None of it's true. They just make it up. Here's the numbers. And that's why the dollar is dropping. No confidence. Also, I told you the other day, remember I said, watch the yield. Most people that watch the yield think, well, as long as the yield is going up, that means the economy is growing. That's good. But I said, hold on. You got to remember, it doesn't always mean that. If if we start seeing a lot of debt being piled on, yes, you'll have a higher yield, but it gives you a wrong signal. Gives you a wrong signal. You have to go look at the small and mid-cap stocks. IWM, the symbol. And I pointed that out, how they were dropping. They were dropping. And that's what happened. They're getting weak. And they shouldn't be dropping. Why should they be dropping small and mid-cap stocks? They don't do any business overseas. You think the small mid-cap stocks that manufacture and do all their business, they manufacture stuff here just for the U.S. economy, not outside this economy, would be booming. Not. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Real wages have declined. Our economy, 3.4% to 1/10 of 1%. Retail sales, just got the numbers today, falling off a cliff. Consumer prices are surging at the fastest pace in 5 years. Inflation. The U.S. producer price spike at the fastest rate in 5 years. This is crazy. Until she lifted rates into all this. See, she's trying to save face. And you know what? They're not going to continue to raise them. They're fine. We should be up 5, 6, 7 points by now. See, they played the game. They wanted to keep these rates low, and we knew that because they would never unwind the $4 trillion that they had on the balance sheet when they printed $85 billion from 2008 to 2012 to go out and buy all the bonds, 10-year treasuries, so to force the Saudis and Chinese out of the treasury market into the stock market, pushing up the stock market 125% from 2008 to 2012 without any profits, without increased revenues, by simply screwing them and taking the bond yield down so far by purchasing all these bonds, putting on their balance sheet. But guess what? They never took them off their balance sheet. They're reinvesting the principal on these treasuries. So it still acts like a cushion. It's still acting like a cushion to prop up the stock market. Our stock market hasn't had a pullback in 95 days of even a 1% pullback. They're still trying to prop this market up. Do you think that the Federal Reserve will start unwinding that $4 trillion that they bought and put on their balance sheet? No. You know what they did? They said to the banks, you got to have more reserves. You got to support our balance sheet. Make sure you have more reserve for bad loans. And when they had more reserve for bad loans, they couldn't loan. And that's why the economy has dropped. That's why they didn't get their 3.4%. That's why the economy growth dropped to 0.9% of 1%. They're telling the banks, you got to support our balance sheet. Our balance sheet's in trouble. We're holding all these treasuries to try to prop up the stock market. Now you got to prop us up too. We got the biggest mass bubble in history. And she raises the rates? What are you, nuts? This is unbelievable. So everybody's looking at the wrong thing this afternoon. They're all looking at the market up 107 points. They're all giddy. Really? Start looking at the dollar. Yield also started to drop this afternoon. The yield started to pull back, which means people are starting to go to bonds again. So there isn't the confidence in this market. And by the way, the stock market, exchange traded fund, SPY, which I trade with all my gang members, is setting up beautifully. The pattern is setting up beautifully. It's telling us right now the pattern, if it stays like this, we could get a terrific correction in the market, a nice little correction in the market, make some money as the market goes down. This is just crazy. Listen to this.
For some time, the committee has judged that if economic conditions evolved as anticipated, gradual increases in the federal funds rate would likely be appropriate to achieve and maintain our objectives. Today's decision is in line with that view.
All right, first of all, she's lying. Listen to what she says. Listen to what she says, how she's lying. Listen.
For some time, the committee has judged that if economic conditions evolved as anticipated, gradual increases in the federal funds rate would likely be appropriate to achieve and maintain our objectives.
Maintain what objective? Oh, they tell you it's to grow the economy. No, that's not their objective. They're going to increase the rates ever so slightly. They'll never raise rates rapidly like they should, because by keeping the rates low and by keeping they don't want to unwind all that $4 trillion, that supports the bubble. That's why she's doing it slowly, and that's why we've done so little rates. Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? We've only had 3 rate hikes in 10 years? We should have had about 7. But they're lying to you. They are trying to hold this bubble, hold this market up. They're doing everything. And how do they do it? By using that $4 trillion they have on their balance sheet. They should be getting rid of those treasuries they bought. Start unwinding them. But they know if they start unwinding them, the market will fall about 50%. So they're stuck. Boy, this was a bad number today. We'll talk about some stocks and a lot more. We'll be right back. 15 past the hour here on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time, real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years, and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grandandy, philsgang.com. You know the stock market goes up 72% of the time? Then why is it that the retail customer, 80% of the time, have lost money? Because they don't know when to get out. And that's why I'm providing a product called my MV2 chart that solves that problem. It's always about when do I get out? That problem has been solved. Check it out, my MV2 chart. Don't miss it.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy at philsgang.com. You're probably familiar with a pillow commercial that's everywhere. It's on TV. Don't worry, get the pillows, this new pillow that's out. You know what? You don't need a pillow good night's sleep. You want to make sure your investments are safe. That's where you get the good night's sleep. And that's what you get here at Phil's Gang with our technology. It's built in to show you when your stock is ready to fail, when your stock is ready to rally. That's right, it follows the money. You don't need a pillow. You need Phil's Gang. That's how you get a good night's sleep. You'll always know well in advance if the market's going to collapse for your stock. Join my gang, philsgang.com. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Phil Grandandy is a career businessman who has also been an entrepreneur all his life. He has used his business skills to take companies on the abyss of bankruptcy and bringing them back to profitability. Phil has been honored by Inc. magazine for the 500 fastest growing privately held companies and has been recognized with a prestigious Entrepreneur of the Year award. From the real estate to gas and oil industries to the stock market, Phil Grandandy has mastered his line of business from start to finish. And with a passion and desire to make you a profitable investor, only Phil teaches you and guides you to make informed, unemotional investment decisions. And you'll gain the knowledge of what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. If you want to learn from the best and strengthen your ability to invest, then turn to Phil Grandandy and philsgang.com. Simply call Phil's Gang at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Or go to philsgang.com. You're listening to The Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grandandy. Be sure to check out the all-new Phil's Gang website at philsgang.com.
Maybe he's not as rich as he says he is. Or maybe he doesn't want the American people, all of you watching tonight, to know that he's paid nothing in federal taxes.
Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, lie, lie.
Good evening, Chris. It's been a little bit of a hullabaloo around here this evening. I apologize for being a little flustered. What we have tonight has been turned over to a reporter. These are returns for 1 year. It's a federal return. This is the first time we believe any federal tax returns for Donald Trump have been obtained. And tonight, we have this exclusive first look at their reporting at what they have obtained.
Yeah, last night.
Is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Last night, Rachel Maddow had an epic failure. It was fantastic. I mean, she goes on, she's going to trash Trump. She gets the report. The tax rate that he paid was 25% compared to even MSNBC's parent company, Comcast, which paid less than Trump, 24%. Barack Obama's tax rate was 19%. Bernie Sanders was 13%. The guy made $150 million. He paid $38 million, paying more taxes than Obama and Sanders and Comcast and MSNBC. But here's the real epic failure. How could she come on? Think about it. How could she come on and even talk about that when in their own stable of hosts at NBC, they have tax dodgers, starting with Al Sharpton, Melias Harris Perry, Turi Neblett, and Maddow herself. They own back taxes to the federal government, and they're coming on and they're going after Trump, but they look like a bunch of fools. Unbelievable. Just, are you nuts? It couldn't get any better than this. It couldn't get any better than this. Let's go to Stock Corner and make some money.
The Phil's Gang Stock Corner is brought to you by the MaxVest 1000 Stock Charts. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Sher, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud Z store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com.
And just go to philsgang.com and either click on Walter Sher banner or click on the shopping cart. That takes you to Phil's Gang Budsy store, where you also can get the hard copy of the book or both the digital and the audio format. This is a great story. You should really check this out. Here at 82 years old, Walter, a member of this country's greatest generation, an iconic figure among our nation's most notable entrepreneurs. He has this award-winning book that just chronicles his life starting at 19 years old. He was facing a death sentence of tuberculosis, and he beat it. He goes to school at night, gets his engineering degree, and he ends up getting a job at Sher, and he becomes a giant at that company. A giant. He started from nothing at that company. He became a giant. And he developed the country's first major Cold War weapon system, the nuclear submarine that could launch ballistic missile system under Admiral Rickover. He did that. During the Cold War, we wouldn't have been safe. It was Walter, you have to thank. Walter. He goes on to Lytton. It talks about how Lytton, he designs and develops the first fax machine. It's just amazing, this book. Check it out. Don't miss this book. Go to my site and get the book. Okay? And all the money goes to St. Jude's. It's a great book. He's just a fantastic guy. All right. Let's go and make some money. This is interesting. I want to play this cut for you right here. And make sure I get the right cut. Right here. MO.
Altria, not that interesting. Slow and steady wins the race. But I got to tell you something, folks. Valuation, cheaper than its rivals. They're buying back stock. But I think in terms of balance sheet, and in terms of what they're doing in terms of streamlining their business, I think Altria wins.
Yeah. All a bunch of not. Just like every day you hear, everything's going up 20%, 20%. I think I have it. If I don't, I'll get it. But everything goes up 20%, they tell us. 20%, everything's 20%. Just like Philip Morris here. Are you nuts? Take a look at this. And thank God that I developed a chart that I developed that tells you when to get out of this stock. This stock, Altria, this stock went up it went up 8%. 8% from January 23rd. And then soon it stopped. It turned red on March 2nd. Thank God, so that we could hold that 8% profit. And it turned red, and it's been red now for about 2 weeks. And what are they telling you? To buy it. See the beauty of this chart that I designed? You can sleep at night because if you're in that stock or any stock, you know when to get out. It starts turning red. The candlesticks turn red. There is nothing better than that. And this is why people got out of the stock market, because they're afraid. They always remember, I made money, but I never could keep the money. I never got out in time. Nobody called me to get me out in time. I try to get my broker when things are collapsing. The line's busy or he's away from his desk. You don't need that anymore. That's why I came up with this idea. Why don't you just tell the people? Let them know when the stock's going to start going up. Pretty easy. Pretty easy. We have the technology to identify when money from all these institutions, the 9 largest banks, the insurance companies, the hedge funds, the pension funds, we can track. You can track their money flow. And when they start pulling out their money, isn't it nice to know that Alteria, they started to pull their money out on March 2nd, and here it is today, March 15th, and these bozos are telling you to get in, these clowns are telling you to get in today? When institutions are pulling the money out? That's why I tell you, join my gang. Go to my gang, philsgang.com, and get your free chart. Get your free, for 4 weeks, I give you a free chart for the sign up, $39.95, and for 4 weeks you get that chart, and then you can follow us every day on these stocks. You'll love it, believe me. We'll be right back after this break, 28 past the hour on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. Unlimited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
I'm looking to make extra income, to plan for retirement and pay down my debt. Do you have any suggestions?
You should try Phil's Gang.
Tell me more. What is Phil's Gang?
Phil's Gang is an investing education service where Phil Grandandy teaches you and guides you to making profits in the stock market using stock charts and following the technicals. Phil's Gang is a service for all types of investors, from beginners to experts. For only $39.95 a month, you'll get access to Phil's Gang live daily webinar class, Phil's alerts, and a huge library of educational investing videos.
But my time is very limited. Can Phil still help me?
Absolutely. With Phil's Gang, they have special programs tailored for anyone. You can follow him on just 3 stocks, or they have a working investor program for folks who have limited time, and all Phil's Gang material is archived, so you never miss a beat. Plus, if you have any questions, Phil's Gang has exceptional customer service support to assist you. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com to sign up, or call them at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Are you ready to get serious about your financial future? Reduce your debt, pay off those student loans, and prepare for retirement. Taking control of your finances can be intimidating, but with philsgang.com, you will be educated and guided to make smart investment decisions in the stock market. If the market is up or down, philsgang.com is the only source where you'll learn how to trade stocks and how to invest in the stock market using professional-level skills and strategies. For more information, go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
El que San Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When St. Jude told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. They pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy, philsgang.com. We're a teaching format, and boy, do we give good service. Buying a stock doesn't have to be complicated. The reason why Wall Street makes it complicated is so to make you think you need to hire them. You can do better without them, believe me, because you're not going to have those big fees. Come to Phil's Gang, where we'll show you an easy way to buy a stock. philsgang.com, where we don't make it complicated, but profitable.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years. Very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I love the new MV charts on Phil's software, and I'm making profits using them.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I love your new MV1, making lots of profits.
I love the chart. I'm limited with time. Real good as far as just looking at whatever ticker tells me right away.
I've always enjoyed Phil's straightforwardness and talk about what's really going on.
The new MV1 and MV2 charting software. I particularly like the pre- and post-market candlesticks.
You guys have always been great on the service side. I can't say enough about the service side.
Don't wait. Sign up for Phil's Gang today. Give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Money, 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 can you use?
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264.
These economic projections are very little changed from those made in December. The committee judged that a modest increase in the federal funds rate is appropriate in light of the economy's solid progress toward our goals of maximum employment and price stability.
Have you ever heard any such what nonsense? If you listen to this stuff, it's just all lies. It's all jibber jabber. Their official narrative forever has been that the balance sheet they'll only start shrinking the balance sheet. Remember, their balance sheet has 4 trillion worth of treasuries they bought. And remember why they bought them? To force the Chinese, to force the Saudi Arabians out of the bond market. Because at $85 billion a month, those yields started to drop, and they buy our bonds. They're looking for high yields. So by buying $85 billion every month, they dropped, those yields started to drop. They're unattractive for them to buy, and that forced them into the stock market and pushed the stock market up 125% from the beginning of 2008 to 2012. Prosperity with no profitability. Earnings didn't rise, revenues didn't rise, margins didn't rise, nothing rose, just the stock. And then they said, well, aren't you going to take and unwind the stock? Are you going to start selling these treasuries at some point? No, we'll just keep reinvesting. We're going to keep reinvesting our principal, and we'll start unloading them as our interest rates start to increase. What? That's why they haven't raised interest rates, only three hikes. In 10 years, they should have been raising rates. This is crazy. So they're lying to us. They're keeping the rates down, and they're not going to move them because they don't want to get rid of that $4 trillion because it's still acting as a cushion, and that's why it's hard to go get a business loan, and that's why the economy isn't growing. That's why our economy, we just got the report today, instead of the first quarter growing at 3.4%, it grew at 0.9%, because by the Fed trying to hold this market up, and they're using that $4 trillion to hold the market up, to prop it up. And then they turn around and they say to the banks, you got to have more reserves so you can help hold up our bond. You got to hold up our balance sheet so it doesn't collapse. So you got to have more money set aside. And they did. Now that money that was set aside, that's why you go get a business loan or some kind of loan, you can't get it. And that's why the economy's not growing. They're happy. The owners, the 400 richest people in the world are happy. They just keep making money as the market keeps going up. It keeps making money. The last thing this country, the rich, the owners, our owners, the 400 richest people, who own us, who own our Congress, the last thing they want is for Trump to be successful, because they got it made. They don't want to see Trump put big tax cuts in, so the corporations start getting more bottom line. In other words, Trump wants to get rid of the regulations. He wants to do big cuts so that we can grow the economy. Then the corporations will start putting money back into their companies, and when they start investing money back into their companies, our productivity goes up, our wages go up. We start hiring people. That's the last thing the 400 wealthiest people in the world that own us want. And that's why the dollar went down today. That's why the dollar dropped today. Dollar should be up today. The yield should be up today. So the market's up 133 points. Watch what happens tomorrow. Watch what happens tomorrow. And that's why I always tell my students with the chart that I have, when the market opens, lose your opinion. Lose your opinion so you don't lose your money. Just follow the chart. Here's a great example. Take gold, GDX. That's an exchange-traded fund. You can buy all the gold mines in one group. The gold miners, after the gold miners went from about $18 and they went up to about $25, that's a gain of about, I think that I'll get the percentage here. That's a 38% gain that we had in our gold mining ETF. But guess what? It turned red, and it dropped from $24.70 all the way down to $21. So it dropped 14, but we didn't give back our profit. We kept it because it turned red. That's the beautiful thing about my chart. It turned red. We didn't give it back. But here's what's interesting today. The dollar drops today, and my GDX goes up 8% in one day. But did we buy it? No. Why? Because it's still red. It's still red. It tells you, don't get in yet. Don't get in yet. That's not new money coming in. That's short covering. Don't get in. Isn't that a beautiful thing? It goes up 8%, and it's telling you, don't get in yet. Tell me what other chart does that in the country. So join my gang, philsgang.com. Get this chart free with your membership, And then that's an ETF. Then follow me on the ETFs. The one thing you got to realize, that everybody thinks they're going to make a lot of money doing individual stocks. Then when they start doing individual stocks, they start thinking, well, that's not for me. I got too much. I don't have the time for it. I don't want to do any work. It's too, and then they don't do stocks anymore. Well, that's a real problem because you need something to supplement your lousy 401k. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to make any money with your 401k. The expenses are too high. So this is a perfect way to supplement it. Just follow me every day when I do the S&P, the spiders. That's 500 best companies in the world in one basket. And we invest in these, and you can follow us every day. So for a person who doesn't have time, that's a great option. It's a great way to supplement your 401k, and you also know when to get out. And then we do other ETFs. And by the way, I was looking and see if the banks went up today. The banks didn't go up today. The banks ETF did not go up today. XLF. The bank should be taken off. Any interest rate, the banks' stocks always go up. They're not going up. XLF is not going up. Matter of fact, I'm going to just check it again right now. It's not going up. XLF, here we go. Let's check it. No. And they should be soaring. The bank stocks should be soaring. So the dollar is down. See, and that's why investors aren't buying the banks. They know something's wrong here. Sure, there's something wrong here. Of course there's something wrong here. The economy's not growing. So they're all hoping. We had a 14% rally in this market. It was all hopped up on, hey, what Trump is going to do. But now today is the big day. We have an interest rate hike. We had the debt ceiling. He has no money left in his checking account today. And he can't borrow because his debt ceiling is at the top, at the limit. And think of this. Think of this. Our economy has grown by 3.8 times. Our debt has grown 20 times. And the Fed balance sheet has grown 22 times while the economy's grown 3.8. Do you get it? They're propping us up. So I'm not saying don't get in and enjoy it. If the market, they want to keep propping this market up, they maybe want to do QE again. If they want to push the market up another 120% without having to have any profits, fine, we'll be there. And we'll make money, the gang, on the way up. And then we'll know when to get out. And that's the advantage of being the gang member and having a chart. It tells you when to get out. So here's the number, 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, or go to philsgang.com, sign up, and get your free chart. And I'm telling you, it works. And then you follow me every day on the stocks, on the exchange-traded funds. This is so good for people, who, as I say, who have no interest in the stock market, because they have no time to do it. And you just follow me on those exchange-traded funds. The spiders, and we're also following the gas ETF. We're following the gas ETF. And this way you can consistently make money, and you got somebody you can follow, and when we get out, you get out. It's that simple. Okay. So here's what's really interesting. Listen to this.
With a CAPE ratio at 29, which is very high, it's not quite as high as it was in 1929, but it's getting close. So that's a bad sign. It seems to me this could be like 1997.
But what does Buffett say about that? Talk about that next. 43 Cash on Phil's Gang. Join my gang. Get your chart.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. philsgang.com. What are people saying?
Hi, this is Ron from Washington State, and I subscribe to the Phil's Gang MV2, and I just wanted to let Phil know that right after the election, I made a $7,000 profit using the MV2 on Wells Fargo stock.
Complete guidance and professional education for investors who want to succeed in the stock market.
I've been in the financial business myself about 24 years, and very much enjoy the software program for the charts.
I've been a long-time Phil subscriber, and I just want to recommend it to anybody out there. I think it's a wonderful tool and works very, very well.
Don't wait. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Sher, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud Z store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandandy at philsgang.com. We're offering the most powerful stock charts available on the market, the MaxVest 1000 charts. Now, the difference between these charts and all the other charts is this follows the money. Yes, it gives you a buy-sell signal. I know you're going to say, well, they all do. No, not true. The difference with the MaxVest is they follow the important money, the hedge funds, the biggest banks, the 401ks, the pension fund managers. That's the big difference. They're not following the emotion. That's what most charts do. They follow the money. That's what MaxVest does, follows the money. Check it out. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Oh, and the chart is low as $19.95 a month. For more information, just go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-GANG. We will see you on the charts.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264, 877-600-4264.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
The treatment doesn't get any better than what you receive at St. Jude. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
To many, the stock market is shrouded in mystery. When do I buy? What is the stop loss? Should I invest on earnings? Is it time to sell? At Phil's Gang, we want to clear the investing fog for you. We want to make you an educated, confident investor and ultimately a profitable investor. For over 15 years, Phil Grandandy and the Phil's Gang team have been dedicated to teaching, guiding, and answering your investment questions. And with our new Phil's Gang website and customer support messaging system, we are available when you need us to answer your questions. philsgang.com can be accessed from your home, office, or any location where internet is available. Plus, you never miss a beat because all material is archived. From beginner to seasoned investor, Phil Grandandy has been helping thousands of people learn about the stock market and producing smart investing strategies. Whether you're preparing for retirement or looking to secure your financial future, learn, invest, and profit with Phil's Gang. That's philsgang.com. For more information, call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264. Recognized as an Axiom Business Award winner, the highly acclaimed Walter's Way book, authored by legendary businessman Walter Sher, is now available in digital and audio formats at the philsgang.com Bud Z store. Enjoy the stories of a relief kid who survived TB, corporate betrayal, bankruptcy, and still made millions and touched the lives of billions. Don't wait. Pick up the Walter's Way book in hardcover, digital, and in audio format at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com and either click on Walter Sher's banner or click on the shopping cart. Takes you right to Phil's Gang Bud Z store, where you also can get the book in both digital and audio format. Incredible story about the man who, by the way, if it wasn't for Walter Sher, we wouldn't have the fax machine today. And also, if it wasn't for Walter Sher, we would not have been safe during the Cold War. He was the one who designed the system for the nuclear submarine to launch ballistic missiles, and he did that under Admiral Rickover. He's the one that came up with the system. They had the submarine, but they didn't have a way to launch them, and that's what kept us safe during the Cold War. And he is responsible for that, and so many other things. It's an unbelievable book. Check it out. Get it. Okay, now the other thing is, look, this was interesting today to watch when they raised rates and watched the stock market go up. And if I got to ever make a case for you to, get my chart, work this chart, it works. Because the beautiful thing is, this market, yes, it went up today 114 points, but nobody's looking at it is the dollar came down. The yield came down. The dollar came down. That's telling you there's a problem. Now, the beautiful thing, if the market wants to go up another 3, 4, 5 days before it corrects, that's fine too. We don't care. As I tell my gangs every morning, when the market opens, lose your opinion so you don't lose your money. As long as I know when to get out, I don't care that this market is a big, fat, ugly bubble. I could care less as long as I can sleep at night and know I'm going to get out. And that's why I developed this, not only the MV chart, but a special group, a class that once you're a gang member you can go to, where it's just ETFs. It's designed for people who don't have the time to do individual stocks and who want to supplement their 401k. And when you go into that group, we'll be buying the spiders, we'll be buying the different ETFs, and all you do is mimic what I'm doing. Takes you a minute a day, not even that. You don't have to do a thing. It's perfect for you if you don't have time to fiddle with individual stocks. So join the gang, philsgang.com, and then get your free chart. Okay, I've got to go through this quickly because this is another thing. The liberals are really upset because of Trump's budget. He's going to increase the military spending 10%. And the liberals point out why would they do that? They shouldn't do that. They're saying we're already exceeding the next 7 largest military budgets around the world. Why would we do it? Boy, did they forget. They're so busy with their fake news, they forget. Do you remember what Reagan did? He built such a strong military. That's why Russia got into a race with us and they went bankrupt. And that's why the wall came down. You need to be strong. And that's why it's worth doing. And then they said, well, he's cutting corporate taxes. And the liberals are all upset about that. And they're talking about how corporate profits are at a higher percentage of the economy than they've been since 1947. Good. What's wrong with that? But remember, that's just the largest companies. It's not the small companies. You got to get the small companies because it's the small companies that create most of your jobs, not the big companies. They haven't been sharing in those in those profits. And Trump, he said they're all upset he's going to pay for the cuts and the budget cuts by cutting billions of dollars from the Environmental Protection Agency. Are you kidding me? The Protection Agency? These idiots who tell me how much water I can have in my toilet, what soap I should use. Cut everything out of there. They killed our small businesses. With their regulations. Of course, take the money from them. Put it in the military. Are you kidding? Instead of giving it to them, they're destroyers. The EPA. They were Obama's Nazi SSS troopers. They put more small businesses out of business. Small business are the backbone of this economy, and he screwed them all with this EPA. They're like the Nazi storm guys. I mean, brown shirts, the Gestapo, the EPA in Washington destroyed the American industry. It's a job killer, the EPA, and the liberals are all upset. Are you kidding me? Look. The purpose of the Environmental Protection Agency was to protect the environment, but Obama changed it where their task was to put small businesses out of business. That was their purpose, not to protect. They don't protect the environment. God. So CEOs of businesses all around our country, because of the EPA, they would not invest their profits back into their businesses, which, if they did, would increase productivity, which would increase wages, which increase our growth, our economy growth. And the proof is, we just got the number today. Our economy was supposed to come in at 3.4% the first quarter that we're in now, 2017, and came in at 0.1%. What are you, nuts? So they're all wigged out. And the other thing they're all wigged out about, that they're going to take away from food stamps to help with the military build-up and the tax cuts. Well, take them away from the food stamps and all the Medicaid, all that. If they have good jobs, they don't have to be on food stamps. God, they just don't get it, do they? They don't get it. And you want to know why the economy's not growing? And so what has the Federal Reserve done? They rigged the market to just keep going up. Just keep going up so everybody can get rich. Not everybody, but the 400 richest people, the 1 percentile, who 80% of their income comes from the stock market, and you should be able to share in that. The only problem is you never knew when to get out. And that's why you got out of the stock market, because you got disgusted with the stock market. I understand that. But now you know when to get out. And I'm going to prove it to you by giving you the chart for free, and follow me on my ETFs. Every day I will trade the ETFs for you. I do it for you. Especially the spiders. The spiders are the best thing in the world. If you don't have time to do individual stocks, and everybody starts out, they want to trade stocks. Then they find out they don't have time for it. They don't have the inclination for it. But that doesn't mean you give it the stock market. What are you going to retire with a Social Security check? You going to retire with a 401k? Yeah, good luck there. But at least now you have an alternative. You can buy the spiders, and every day you do what I do with the spiders. And we have we just go to our group. It's called Working Investor. And every day, and we have and every night when I finish the radio show, I do a video for the stocks I'm working. And just follow the stocks that I'm in. That's all. It's a great opportunity. Check it out. Go to philsgang.com or call right now, 877-600-GANG. Get your free chart. So, where are we ending up with all this today? What's this all mean today? What did this all... Nothing. Look at what has been a $930 billion public debt in January 1981 is now $20 trillion. And what has been the Fed's $200 billion balance sheet is now $4.4 trillion. What does that mean? That's what you should focus on. It means that the debt is going to keep increasing. We can't keep carrying this debt. I don't mind doing all the spending that President Trump wants to do, but you got to do some cuts somewhere, and the liberals are upset where the cuts are going to be. They want to keep it with the EPA. They want to keep us, make sure there's no water in our toilets. And make sure we you ever notice now they want to force you to use soap that is the only people getting rich off is China. They're the ones that have the stuff to make this stupid soap. It's just ridiculous, just crazy. So the economy right now, we're going to watch the dollar. If the dollar continues to drop, then we want to be in gold mining stocks. But right now, I don't want to be in gold mining stocks, even though they went up big today because the dollar went down. We need another couple of days. On our chart. We got to get our chart, the MV2 chart, the color-coded chart, to turn green before we buy the mining stock. So join now, 877-600-GANG. Get your free chart and follow me. And then when I start buying the gold mining stocks, you follow me. Takes you, 1 minute a day? That's it. Okay, join my gang, 877-600-GANG or philsgang.com. Watch the dollar. That's the key.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Philsgang.com.